Hello, students, and welcome to your very first chapter of your CAT syllabus, which is called as linear equations. The reason that this is the very first chapter is because our whole syllabus consists of equation solving, or a lot of it, right? And so, right at the outset, we need to be able to know how to form equations and how to solve them. So, let's get started with our very first slide. And this is basically what is a linear equation, right? So let's take an example. Example 2x plus 3y equal to 6, right? It's an equation with two variables x and y, and over here I'm just going to put in some random values. For example, when x is equal to 0, then I get 3y is equal to 6, so y is equal to 2. And similarly, if I put y is equal to 0, then I get 2x is equal to 6 and x is equal to 3. Okay. Now what we do is, because there are two variables x and y, what we will do is that we are going to plot an xy plane and put these 2 points on that plane. X and y. Okay, and then x is 0, y is 2, so just approximately 0, 1, 2, some point over here. X is 0, y is 2. Okay, and x is 3, y is 0, so something like 1, 2, 3, 3, comma 0. And obviously we know how do we get a line. A line is the connection between 2 points. So now I simply join these 2 points. This is it. So the main point over here is that a linear equation is a line. A linear equation in two variables becomes a line in the xy plane or in the 2D plane, and in three variables it will become a line in the 3D space. So this is a line that represents 2x plus 3y is equal to 6. Okay, and we can put a certain title over here, how to plot a line. How to plot a line. Okay, so how do you plot a line? Put x0, find value of y, put y0, find value of x. You get 2 points. Join the points, आपका line बन जाएगा. You will get that line. ठीक है. Let me also mention one more point over here, that if I just move along this line, watch. For example, as I am moving, what is happening to the x coordinate? X coordinate is increasing. But what is happening to the y coordinate? Y coordinate is decreasing, right? For example, if I take these 3 points, तो ये इनका यहाँ पे, look at x and y. Now x has increased, y has decreased, and x has increased further, y has decreased further, right? So the main point over here is that in an equation of the form ax plus by is equal to c, right, where a, b and c are constants, I notice that if x is increasing, y is decreasing, and if x is decreasing, then y is increasing. ठीक है? In terms of proportionality, this implies that x is inversely proportional to y, and this is how it is represented. X is inversely proportional to y. Okay? So these are just extra terms coming towards you, and these will be mentioned very soon again. Proportionality will come up again in ratios, and this particular point in red color is also coming up later when we talk about types of solutions. So we have another such equation, or maybe we can just call it another example. Another example of a different equation type can be something like 3x minus y is equal to 4. So if x is 0, y becomes minus 4, and if y is 0, then x becomes 3x is 4, x becomes 4 upon 3. Right? And once again, we are going to plot these 2 points and observe the equation. Let me erase this part. X is 0, y is minus 4. This will come somewhere down over here. Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. And y is 0, x is 4 upon 3. 4 upon 3 will be somewhere over here. Join the 2 points. And this becomes your equation. This will keep going on. Okay. Now on this particular line, if you notice, as you keep moving in a particular direction, for example over here, your x coordinate is increasing and y is also increasing, right? Both x and y. Both x is increasing, y is increasing. X increasing, y increasing. Both of these are increasing, right? For example, x is here, x is here, and y is here. Then you go a little further up. Now x has increased and y has also increased. Further up, x has increased even more, y has increased even more. Okay. Okay. So now in this particular new equation type, which is 3x minus y equal to 4, which I have given you another example for equation plotting. In ax minus by equal to c, there are only 2 equation types, ax plus by equal to c and ax minus by equal to c. Here we see that if x is increasing, then y is also increasing. And if x is decreasing, then y is also decreasing. Okay? And so we say that x is directly proportional to y. It is represented like this. It's a proportionality symbol. Directly proportional means there's a direct relationship. If x is increasing, y is also increasing. There's a direct relationship. Now we will consider a system of linear equations, because whenever you get a question, it's possible that there is only one equation involved, but generally you will have 2 equations in 2 variables. And of course you can also have equations in more variables than that. So that is a little more of algebra, which will come a little later. All right, so now let us consider 2 equations. One is in the white color, a1x plus b1y is equal to c1, and the other one will be a2x plus b2y is equal to c2. Please resist the tendency to jump during the video, but what you could do is that you can just increase the video speed, so at least you don't miss anything, because then you will not know what you have missed. Right? So now that you have two lines, what could be the orientation of these two lines? What could be their relationship to each other? So first, it is possible that they are parallel lines, right? And if they are parallel lines, there is no solution. Now, what is the solution? A solution is simply the points at which the two lines are intersecting. A solution is a technical term. It's a point at which satisfies both the lines, right? So if the lines are parallel, then there is no solution because they are not meeting, right? And if the lines are intersecting, then obviously two lines can intersect at only one point. So we will say unique solution or single solution. The lines are intersecting, there is a unique solution. And finally, if the lines are coincident, one on top of the other, that means that a solution of one line is also a solution of the other line. So they have infinite solutions. Infinite solutions. Right? Let me put in some examples for this. 2x plus 3y is equal to 6, and 6x plus 9y is equal to 18. Just an example of two lines. If you were to plot these, actually you will find that they are parallel to each other. 2x plus 3y equal to 6, and we can take some other line, something like 4x plus y equal to 10. These two will be intersecting at some point. Now they will be intersecting at which point, that I will be showing it to you in the next slide, which is going to be about how to solve a system of equations. And finally, coincident lines, which reminds me that I should change this. It's not 18, something else. Let us take over here 20. And now over here, 2x plus 3y is equal to 6, and then we can go for 6x plus 9y equal to the original one that I had taken, 18. So basically, when the lines are coincident, it's the same line. That's why they are coincident. They are one on top of the other. So in the red equation, if you were to take out 3 common, right? 3 अगर आप common ले लेते हैं, you will get 2x plus 3y is equal to, and then the 3 gets cancelled here also, 6. So the red equation is actually a scaled version of 2x plus 3y equal to 6. It's the same line. Right? And finally, we will put down the conditions under which you are able to check quickly, without plotting, without drawing the lines, about what is the relationship between these lines. The roots for this concept lie in coordinate geometry. So in the initial slides of coordinate geometry, I will come back to this particular point and mention that, yaad karo, that at that particular point of time we were drawing some lines, so then we will be able to understand कि इसका basic concept कहाँ से आ रहा है, क्यों है. अभी के लिए we just see it that okay ऐसा है, but ऐसा क्यों है, it will come later. All right, so parallel lines के case में the pattern or the condition that we observe is that your ratio of coefficients a1 by a2, b1 by b2 and c1 by c2, we notice that a1 by a2 is equal to b1 by b2 but is not equal to c1 by c2. We can check. So a1 is the white one, white value, 2 upon 6 is equal to 3 upon 9. You can see both of these are 1 by 3, right? 2 upon 6, 1 by 3, 3 upon 9, 1 by 3, but it's not equal to 6 upon 20. 6 upon 20 is not 1 by 3. Okay? And then you have intersecting lines. So intersecting lines के अंदर what happens is that the first two coefficients a1 by a2 is not equal to b1 by b2. That's it. These two itself are not equal. This comes from the concept of slope. We'll talk about it in coordinate geometry. And that's it. Then comes our third case, our third condition, which is that it's the same line. It's exactly the same line, so everything is equal. सब कुछ equal है. Right? So you have the orientation of a system of equations, and then you have the condition under which you can check the category in which it lies. For example, over here 2 upon 4 and 3 upon 1, they are not equal to each other. Whereas over here 2 upon 6, 3 upon 9 and 6 upon 18, all of them are 1 by 3. सारे के सारे same है. All of them are same. ठीक है? All right, that's it. Next, I'll just share with you some basic properties related to exponents, because कहीं ना कहीं use हो जाता है बार बार. So let me just put that in. Now we cover the properties of exponents because ये बार बार use हो जाता है. So I've put all of them in line with some examples. So I'll use some terms. जो नीचे वाला term है, we'll call it the base, and then you have the power. ठीक है? So the first point says that if you are multiplying two terms जिनका base same है, तो उनका power add हो जाएगा. We have the example over here, 2 power 2 into 2 power 3, which gives you 2 to the power 2 plus 3. ठीक है? Now the second point is extremely important because यहाँ पे काफ़ी students का mistake हो जाता है. So first let me define what is a power m to the power n. It is simply a to the power m being multiplied. M power n क्या होता है? M into m into m into m and so on, n times. ठीक है? This is a power m power n. And what you now have in the second property is something different. A power m bracket to the power n. तो ये bracket क्या करता है? It multiplies your powers. M and n multiply हो जाता है. So let me take an example to compare. Second property, let me call this 2a and इसको हम बोल देते हैं 2b. Right? So that you can write these in your copy separately. 2a and 2b के अंदर what is the difference? 2 to the power 2 bracket to the power 3. This is according to property 2a versus 2 to the power 2 to the power 3. ठीक है? Now this becomes 2 to the power, according to property 2a, आपका powers multiply हो जाएंगी. 2 into 3 versus what is 2 to the power 3? 2 to the power 3 क्या होता है? 2 into 2 into 2, that's 8, right? So ये आपका बन जाता है 2 to the power 8. So as you can see, you end up with 2 to the power 6, and over here you end up with 2 to the power 8, and these two properties are not equal to each other. ये दोनों अलग अलग properties हैं. Property 2a has a bracket, property 2b does not have a bracket. ठीक है. All right. Third property is very simple, that आपके product of terms, and this is also applicable in division. Third and fifth property are similar. ठीक है. थर्ड एंड फिफ्थ में क्या है, दैट ओवरऑल एक पावर लग रहा है. सो ओवरऑल जो पावर लग रहा है, व्हाट यू कैन डू इज दैट यू कैन अप्लाई द पावर टू द इंडिविजुअल टर्म्स. ए इंटू बी पावर एन बिकम्स ए पावर एन इंटू बी पावर एन. सेम थिंग फॉर डिविजन, इट बिकम्स ए पावर एम अपॉन बी पावर एम. ठीक है, दैट्स द थर्ड एंड फिफ्थ प्रॉपर्टी. नाउ द फोर्थ प्रॉपर्टी इज वेयर द पावर हैज़ अ माइनस साइन. ठीक है, वेरी सिंपल. पावर के अंदर अगर माइनस साइन होता है, देन इन ऑर्डर टू व्हेन यू रिमूव द माइनस साइन तो एक रेसिप्रोकल आ जाता है. दैट्स ऑल. ए पावर माइनस एन अगर माइनस हटाया तो 1 अपॉन ए पावर एन हो गया. दैट्स ऑल. वेरी सिंपल. सो एंड अगेन इसमें इट्स जस्ट अ बंच ऑफ प्रॉपर्टीज विच वी गेट टू नो, वी अंडरस्टैंड, एंड देन वो क्वेश्चंस में यूज हो जाता है. सो 2 पावर माइनस 2 बिकम्स 1 अपॉन 2 टू द पावर 2. ठीक है, सेम थिंग. फोर्थ एंड सिक्स प्रॉपर्टी आर ऑल्सो सेम. फोर्थ एंड सिक्स के अंदर वी आर जस्ट रिमूविंग द माइनस साइन. तो ए अपॉन बी टू द पावर माइनस एन, माइनस हटाया तो रेसिप्रोकल हो गया. ठीक है, बी अपॉन ए टू द पावर एन विद एन एग्जाम्पल. सेवेंथ प्रॉपर्टी, ए टू द पावर 0 1 होता है एज लॉन्ग एज ए इज नॉट इक्वल टू 0. सो बेसिकली वी से दैट एनीथिंग टू द पावर 0 इज 1. राइट, इससे रिलेटेड लास्ट 2 years में क्वेश्चंस आए हैं. So we'll cover that also at some point, maybe indices search के chapter में, या maybe उससे पहले कहीं पे. ठीक है, and then you have the eighth property. So now eighth property is very similar to the first property. ठीक है, what is the similarity? That first and eighth property के अंदर you were multiplying. फर्स्ट में यू आर मल्टीप्लाइंग, एट्थ में यू आर डिवाइडिंग, एंड पावर्स आर द सेम, एम एंड एन. तो फर्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी व्हेन यू आर मल्टीप्लाइंग एंड आपका बेस सेम है तो पावर्स ऐड हो जाएगा. एट्थ प्रॉपर्टी में व्हेन यू आर डिवाइडिंग एंड आपका पावर सेम है तो पावर सब्ट्रैक्ट हो जाएगा. सॉरी, लेट मी रिपीट दैट. फर्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी में अगर आपका बेस सेम है देन पावर्स विल गेट एडेड. एट्थ प्रॉपर्टी में अगर आपका बेस सेम है देन पावर्स विल गेट सब्ट्रैक्टेड. दैट्स ऑल. ठीक है. All right, there's one more thing that we have to mention, which is fractional powers. For example, a to the power 1 by n. a to the power 1 by n becomes the nth root. इसको बोलते हैं nth root. nth root. For example, square root, cube root, fourth root, like that. ठीक है. तो इफ़ वी टेक समथिंग a टू द पावर p अपॉन q, एंड आपको वो रेसिप्रोकल जो आपका फ्रैक्शनल वाला पावर है, सो nth रूट मीन्स फ्रैक्शनल पावर, तो ये हो गया आपका qth रूट. qth रूट ऑफ वॉट एवर इज इनसाइड दैट इज a पावर p. इसका एक एग्जाम्पल ले लेते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल 27 टू द पावर 2 अपॉन 3. ठीक है. So what you can do is that you can apply 27 के ऊपर क्यूब रूट लग जाएगा एंड ये आपका स्क्वायर हो गया, लाइक दैट. 27 का क्यूब रूट क्या है? 3, एंड यू हैव अ स्क्वायर गोइंग ऑन, सो 3 का स्क्वायर बिकम्स 9. ठीक है. नाउ लेट मी टेक another example. You could have done it in the reverse order also. Let me take something like 16 to the power 3 divided by 2. ठीक है. So 16 to the power 3 divided by 2 के अंदर what you can do is that पहले आप 16 को क्यूब कर सकते हो एंड देन उसका स्क्वायर रूट निकाल सकते हो. दैट्स योर चॉइस. ठीक है, या तो आप फ्रैक्शनल पावर पहले लगा दो या फिर आप मेन पावर पहले लगा दो. दैट्स अप टू यू. ठीक है. सो लेट मी यूज दिस. 16 हो गया 2 टू द पावर 4 का क्यूब जिसका आपको लगाना है स्क्वायर रूट. So this becomes 2 to the power 4 into 3 12 and square root क्या होता है? What is the square root? Square root is to the power half. ठीक है. And now you use the property number 2a because आपका bracket आ चुका है between the powers. So 2 to the power 12 into 1 by 2 is equal to 2 to the power 6. So this particular slide consists of properties of exponents जिसके मैंने examples भी दिए हैं, and if you are not sure about these properties then थोड़े से आप indices and surds से related questions कर सकते हैं, right? Or maybe I'll put up a video about the basic questions maybe, then you can check that also. ठीक है. So in the main property number 9, you can use the fractional power first or you can use the main power first. So in this slide what we have done is we've looked at जब बेस सेम होता है then multiplication में powers add हो जाती हैं, division में powers subtract हो जाती हैं in property number 1 and 8. We've seen the significance of a bracket in property number 2a and 2b. We've seen fractional power में क्या होता है. Fractional power means nth root, square root, cube root, like that. And we've seen negative powers के अंदर in order to remove the minus sign you take reciprocal. ठीक है. All right. Now we can proceed to the next slide. Now one of the most important skills in algebra is to be able to solve a system of linear equations, right? If you have two equations, two variables, then to be able to solve it, we need not be very concerned about being able to solve it very quickly because utne mein error ho sakta hai, but just you should know how to solve it, right? Rest speed अपने आप solve करते करते आ जाएगा. So the first method is called substitution, and that is because we substitute one of the variables. Let me create some equations. For example, 5x plus 3y is equal to 38 and 2x minus 5 2x minus y is equal to 13, right? I've just made up some equations. So now what I will do is that I will substitute one of the variables from one of the equations. जैसे you can write x in terms of y and you can write y in terms of x. ठीक है. So if I look at the second equation, it looks a little simpler. If I were to write x as 13 plus y upon 2, then एक ये fraction आ जाता है, and when a fraction occurs then you have to take LCM and multiple layers of simplification are required, तो वो थोड़ा सा complicated हो जाता है. So instead what I'll do is that I will just write y in terms of x, y as 2x minus 13. ठीक है. From this equation I am just creating y, what is y in terms of x, and now put it back into equation 1. Put this value of y into equation 1, solve होके आपका आंसर आ जाएगा. So 5x plus 3, instead of y let us put 2x minus 13 is equal to 38. ठीक है. So this becomes very fast and हम इसको orally भी करने का from this point of time, because fractions avoid हो चुके हैं, इसको अभी orally करने का भी कोशिश कर सकते हैं. So 5x plus 3 into 2 6x, that gives you an 11x and minus 3 into 13 is 39 is equal to 38, implies 11x is equal to 39 plus 38 is 77, so x is equal to 7. ठीक है. जैसे ही एक वेरिएबल आ जाता है, put this back into the middle equation for y that you had found and आपका y का वैल्यू आ जाएगा. y is equal to twice to 7 minus 13. 14 minus 13, 1. So आपका x आ गया and आपका y आ गया. This method is called substitution because you are substituting one of the variables. ठीक है. Then there is another method available to us, and that method is called eliminating coefficients, because I am going to do something eliminating coefficients. I'm going to do something so that one of the coefficients can be eliminated. ठीक है. So let me take some equation. 5x minus 3y is equal to 29, and 9x plus 2y is equal to 30. Just making up some equations. ठीक है. So now what you can see is when I want to eliminate coefficients, I will check that in equations को add या subtract करने से क्या कोई variable eliminate हो पा रहा है, but that is not happening. So now I will choose या तो coefficient of x को मैं same कर दूंगा, और for coefficient of y it's your choice. So let us choose coefficient of y. Coefficient of y 3 है, 2 है, so दोनों को 6 बना देंगे. So over here 3 को 6 बनाने के लिए multiply by 2, and over here 2 को 6 बनाने के लिए multiply by 3. ठीक है. Now let us rewrite these equations. You get a 10x minus 6y is equal to 29 into 2, 58, and 27x 9 into 3 because यहाँ into 3 है, plus 6y is equal to 90. ठीक है. Now as you can see you have a minus 6y and a 6y, तो बस इन equations को add कर दो. Just add both the equations. As soon as you add both the equations, आपका 6y minus 6y cancel हो गया. 10x plus 27x is 37x, and 90 plus 58 is 148. 37 से cancel हुआ 4 times. I get x is equal to 4. ठीक है. Now pick any of the two equations, जो भी आपको easy लग रही हो उससे आपको y मिल जाएगा. For example, if I pick the second one, 9 4s are 36 plus 2y is equal to 30. So 36 minus 30, 6 आ गया. 6 is equal to minus 2y, implies y is minus 3. ठीक है. So our preferred method for solving should be substitution, but it is possible that the values are a little big, या फिर कोई आपका substitution के process में fraction आ रहा हो. So in that kind of scenario we can go for eliminating coefficients, जिसमें थोड़ा सा rewrite करना पड़ता है दोनों equations को, but then you can add or subtract and get your values. ठीक है. These are two methods available for solving a system of linear equations. And these are some basic algebraic properties. So on the way many of these will be used, right? So इसको एक बारी हम लिख लें copy के अंदर. A plus b whole square, a minus b whole square, basic properties that we are aware of since our school days. A minus b into a plus b is equal to a square minus b square. Then one property जो थोड़ा कम use होती है, a plus b plus c whole square, which is the fourth property, equal to a square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus 2bc plus 2ca. Fifth, sixth and seventh properties इसी के variation हैं. These are not separate properties. And eighth property also, किसी एक term को प्लस की जगह माइनस करें. मे बी b की जगह माइनस b कर दिया, a की जगह माइनस a कर दिया, like that, right? So in the original formula also we make the same change. Instead of b you put a minus b. For example, fifth property, instead of c you put a minus c. बस इतना ही फर्क है. Ninth property, ninth and tenth are the properties for cubes. So a plus b cube is equal to a cube plus b cube plus 3ab into a plus b. 10th उसी का वेरिएशन है, b की जगह माइनस b रख दीजिए, ठीक है. Then a cube plus b cube comes from the 9th property only. What they've done is that from the 9th property, they've just taken 3ab into a plus b on the left hand side and then usko expand kar diya hai. So now this is also an important property. A cube plus b cube is a plus b, a square minus ab plus b square. Similarly, a cube minus b cube, which becomes a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. Finally, another very large property, ये छोटे छोटे questions में ही generally use हुआ है, but yes, it has been used. A cube plus b cube plus c cube minus 3abc, this is equal to this big expansion, a plus b plus c into a square plus b square plus c square minus ab minus bc minus ca. So what happens is that if a plus b plus c becomes 0, अगर ये वाला term आपका 0 हो जाता है, then RHS completely 0 हो जाता है, right? 0 into this whole bracket is equal to 0. So therefore, what you get is a cube plus b cube plus c cube minus 3abc is equal to 0, which gives you this property. ठीक है? All right. Now that the basics are out of the way, linear equations applications becomes the next topic, where we will be given either directly some equations or we will be given some word problems. From the word problems, you have to create or make equations and then solve them. Okay? Also, we must understand that the greatest challenge in this exam is to solve under a timer and to decide कि कौन सा question करना है, अभी करना है कि बाद में करना है, right? So what we are going to do is that we are going to take 3 questions at a time. I will set the timer. Well, I will set it as in on the top of the screen. I will write down a timer जो आपको अपने एक stopwatch में लगा के रखना है, right? This is very serious business. We learned, but now we are not going to learn in the sense that आराम से पहले practice करेंगे, फिर test mode में जाएंगे. Immediately we enter a test mode. So there will be a timer. आप stopwatch पे वो timer लगाइए, something like 6 to 9 minutes for every 3 questions. I will keep varying it. You have to decide the order and come what may, you have to try to complete those questions in that given time. All right. बीच में wherever new concepts are required, that I will be explaining as we go along. So good luck to you all for the very first chapter. Let the show begin.